Pick up your copy of the Son of Man Speaks magazine today. With the Son of Man Speaks magazine, you'll receive automotive tips, wholesome recipes, financial advice, and most importantly, a true understanding of the Word of God. Get your copy of the Son of Man Speaks from these select locations. Sisters, Braid 2, 18070 Mount Elliott, the Shell gas station, 13110 West 7 Mile Road. To get a subscription, call 601-786-9788. That's 601-786-9788. The Son of Man Speaks magazine, dedicated to becoming free indeed.
Attention, brothers and sisters, viewers and listeners, now available. Your Son of Man Speaks magazine digital subscription. Your digital subscription to the Son of Man Speaks magazine will also include our monthly e-newsletter, both delivered to your inbox. If you have any questions regarding the digital magazine subscription or digital newsletter, you may send an email to shabazprinting@thenewnationofislam.com. That's shabazprinting@thenewnationofislam.com. Or call 1-601-786-9788. That's 1-601-786-9788. You can also subscribe online. Visit www.thenewnationofislam.com and click on the magazine tab to register for your online subscription.
We would like to invite you to help support the efforts of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. Visit the website at www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. That's www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. We often hear how we need to work together to rebuild the city, and we're actually doing it. You can make online donations and click on links to track the progress of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. And for more information, 313-868-0000 is a local number. Again, 313-868-0000. Support the Unity and Rebuilding Fund.
To make your online tithes, offerings, donations, gifts to the Son of Man through Cash App, make your payment to $New Nation of Islam. That's $New Nation of Islam. Or call 601-786-7056. 601-786-7056.
I just used your other one though today because it did 2 drips and I was like, oh, I can use my umbrella. My homegirl was talking about it. I'm like, don't talk about it.
With our umbrellas, our customers are turning a drab day into a fab day. After all, representation matters. In other words, rain or shine, we've got you covered. Introducing Designs by Deej, your one-stop gift shop for all things handmade and unique. Our products range from our most popular umbrellas, blanket and pillow sets, handmade coasters, and other statement pieces that showcase the beauty of our melanin and natural hair in a beautiful and empowering way. You can find our brand at the sister shop locations in New Jersey and Atlanta, Georgia, or you can visit our website, www.designsbydeej.com. Again, that's www.designsbydeej.com.
SOS Graphic Design provides agency quality professional graphic design services from established companies to startups and individuals, creating a simple logo to complete rebranding and delivering visual communication with print media. Everything SOS Graphic Design does has a single unifying objective: to set your business apart. We are at your service. Call 313-342-2166. That's 313-342-2166 or online at www.sosgraphicdesigns.com.
Are your clothes coming apart at the seams? Universal Seamstress and Tailoring has got you covered. At Universal Seamstress and Tailoring, we specialize in a wide variety of alterations and transformations to make and keep your clothes looking and fitting their best. From hem jobs to downsizing suits and dresses for a perfect fit to replacing zippers and buttons, Universal Seamstress and Tailoring is your one-stop shop for clothing maintenance. Also, do you have a logo for your clothes you'd like to wear? Universal Seamstress and Tailoring can put it there. That's right. At Universal Seamstress and Tailoring, we not only do alterations, but embroidery as well. Shirts, pants, coats, hats, even bags. If you can wear it, we can embroider it. So remember, whether it be alterations or embroidering you need, Universal Seamstress and Tailoring has got you covered. Universal Seamstress and Tailoring is located at 1404 Main Street, Fayette, Mississippi. Come and see us or give us a call at 601-786-0540.
Year-Around Landscaping has been serving Metro Detroit for over 20 years, offering various landscaping, lawn care, property maintenance, and home renovation. Our professionalism has earned us an outstanding reputation, while our creativity, integrity, and dependability have kept our clients returning and referring us to others. At Year-Round Landscaping, we prioritize quality customer service. We treat every client as our only client before, during, and after providing our services. We believe in building solid relationships with our clients and ensuring their satisfaction. Whether you need a complete outdoor makeover, indoor renovation, or routine maintenance, we have the expertise and resources to deliver outstanding results. Our team is committed to providing exceptional service and completing every project to the highest standard. To schedule an estimate or consultation, please call us at 248-843-6139 or visit our website at yearoundlandscaping.net. Year-Around Landscaping. One source, unlimited resources.
For elite carpet, floor, and upholstery cleaning, call Supreme Steam Cleaning. For pressure washing on your house and driveway, call Supreme Steam Cleaning. Flooding in your house or building, Supreme Steam Cleaning's got you covered with our emergency water extraction services. Transform the rooms in your home with floor installation, repairs, and more. Give us a call today at 601-720-5138. That's 601-720-5138. Visit our website, www.supremesteamclean.com, and follow us on social media at Supreme Steam Cleaning. When you need an elite team, call Supreme.
For all facets of professional hair care and braiding, come to Sisters Braid 2, located at 18070 Mount Elliott in Detroit. We specialize in braiding and natural styles, knotless box braids, feed-in braids, scale twists for men, women, and children. We specialize in all facets of healthy hair. Try our natural oils to keep your hair healthy. 313-826-0498 or 248-372-1738.
Murray, out of the pocket. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Murray hits the downfield. Oh, man, the power's out again.
You have reached Quality Construction and Engineering, your #1 emergency generator source.
Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. With a backup generator, your life goes on uninterrupted with power when you need it. Not to mention the peace of mind of having your property suited to weather the storm.
Whoever would have thought in Houston, Texas, that we would have an ice storm? It did happen, and that Sunday night when it came in, I got up and looked out the front door. Everything was pitch black. It was horrible. Something out of a novel or a science book that you had never seen before. Once the lights went out, my Generac popped on. It ran 55 hours. The only one had lights.
Get your backup generator installed with Quality Construction. We install both residential and commercial generators, so you're always covered. Schedule your consultation with us by calling 1-855-876-9370. That's 1-855-876-9370. Or visit us online at www.powerqec.com. That's www.powerqec.com. Financing is available with low monthly payments and 0% interest for 18 months.
That was the best investment that we could have ever made. That's my backup, the Generac.
Generators with Quality Construction, built tough enough to weather the storm.
Capital Area Planning Services offers a variety of services catered to your land development needs. We offer landscape design, residential design, land planning, mapping and consulting services, and more. We have over 20 years of design and land planning experience. CAPS LLC offers services to developers, builders, architects, surveyors, contractors, government agencies, and private landowners. Feel free to contact us to find out which services are available in your area. You may reach us at 601-326-2966. That's 601-326-2966. You can also visit us on the web at www.capsllconline.com. Let us put on our thinking caps to serve your land development needs.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
Brothers and sisters, are you tired of reading the Holy Scripture and not really understanding what you read? And if you're reasonably sure, have you ever tested that what you feel you know with someone that has a different view than your own? Then let's talk with one another. Then let's reason with one another on a Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man every Wednesday at 9 p.m., Friday at 9 p.m., and Sunday at 12 noon on WHPR TV Detroit Live, 88.1 FM WHPR, and Comcast Cable. Why don't you call and discuss the Holy Bible, and if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and their true meaning? You can call in live on the air at area code 313-868-4336, 313-868-0342, or 313-868-0351. That's 313-868-4336, 313-868-0342, or 313-868-0351. And now, let's go live with a Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. I greet all of you once again who are hungry and thirsty for the true understanding of the Word of God and for the truth in general. I greet you all once again with the greeting words of peace. May Allah's salam alaikum. Before we get into tonight's lesson. Someone had something they wanted to address with me. We can take that at this time.
Yes, sir. We have someone that just sent their questions. Rubenstein Charisma, and they say, Salam alaikum to all and to the Son of Man.
May wa alaikum ala salam.
I have two questions. The first is, what are your thoughts on these verses? Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 39 in the Holy Quran.
Matthew chapter 22,
Yes, sir.
verse what?
37 through 39.
But last of all he sent unto them his son, saying, They will reverence my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance. That, beg your pardon?
Chapter 22.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading 21. I saw 22 there and just assumed that was the page. But 37 through 39, Jesus said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. Yes, because that's the first pillar of faith, is that you must believe in only one God. As I've told you all, the truth is God. The truth is the Lord. And the man asked me, well, are you trying to get us to worship you? I said, no, I'm trying to get you to worship the truth with me. And so that's why all of the messengers of God, the angels, they were told to worship me, to tell you wordship, W-O-R-D-S-H-I-P, meaning bear witness. Every time you speak, you are word shipping. UPS ships packages and mail. The U.S. mail ships packages and mail. We ship words. Brains or minds ship words. And so the scripture says, when he bringeth in the first begotten, I'm the first man the first mind that was ever begotten by the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. I'm the first graduate, so to speak. It's just like when you look at the term alumni. Do you notice the root word of alumni is alum, and you notice these lights illuminate the room, and someone who is an alumni is someone who is enlightened, close to the book. Do you understand? Drawn near to that knowledge. And so there's many things that people don't understand. And so my purpose, by Allah's permission and by his command, is to give you understanding. That's why I'm called the Son of Righteousness. And as he said to me, he says, I will declare the decree that the Lord of the worlds have said unto me, Thou art my beloved Son. This day have I begotten thee. Let me see here. That's in Psalms around the 2nd chapter. And it says, I will declare the decree. The Lord of the worlds hath said unto me, Thou art my Son. This day have I begotten thee. Because this is the Sabbath day. Do you understand? And so Allah has given birth to the mind and the understanding, the light of understanding that you see in me was given birth to by the mixing of the Holy Scriptures with the natural knowledge of this world. Oh, and something else. One of the brothers told me that someone had told him that an elder had told him that sometimes rattlesnakes bite they don't inject venom into you. And I had been told that rattlesnakes and poisonous snakes, when they put their fangs in you, the venom automatically just comes on out. But that's not so, according to Wikipedia. 'Cause I checked it last night, and there are venomous snakes that don't always secrete venom into you when they bite you, which means that that snake has a degree of control over how much venom he releases. It releases. So when I compared Donald Trump to a snake, I was pretty much right anyway. He know who to say something about, and he know who to shut his mouth at too. Do you understand? So, but anyway, so now I definitely can hold him accountable because he know what he's saying and he know who he's saying it about. Do you understand? So yes, that information that you was given is corroborated. When you get opposing opinions, you have to go to the experts, or what everybody considers an expert. And so, rattlesnakes and other venomous snakes, they sometimes do what is called a dry bite. Do you understand? Okay. Now, to get back to this, yes, that's the first and greatest commandment. If you love the truth, it's just like the scriptures teach you. It's in John, the 15th chapter. You notice, if you got friends, if you have a friend and someone that you care about, when you, if your friend grow up, get married, whatnot, and somebody knock on your door, and they're a stranger, and they may say, Mr. Jones, or Mr. Muhammad, or Mr. Smith, you don't know me. He said, no, I don't know you. He said, but my daddy was Jesse. Jesse Stoneberg. So you Jesse's son? He said, come on in here. And you notice, because they loved you and had tender feelings for you, they showed that tender feeling to your son. Do you understand? Well, likewise, it's written here in the book. This is the 15th chapter of John. It says, all of the messengers of God, not a one of them actually chose God. God chose them. Because they didn't know God. How can you choose somebody and you don't even know them? Do you understand? So in the 16th verse, it says, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. Your fruit should be faithful and be saved. It says, for future use, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, that you love one another. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. And what is that? Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. How you know somebody love you with all their mind? They trust not in their own understanding, but they lean on you. Do you understand? Then you love the Lord with all your mind. You see? And that covers your strength and everything. Do you understand? And so, that's the greatest commandment. Why? Because that's Islam. Entire submission to the will, to the mind of God. Do you understand? So, now, what was his next question?
And he said also the Holy Quran, chapter 43, verse 63.
The Holy Quran, chapter 43, and verse 63. And when Jesus came with clear arguments, he said, I have come to you indeed with wisdom. Wisdom is instructions. Well, that's all messengers of God could possibly come with, his instructions. And their instructions is from the Lord of the world. Do you understand? If you say your religion is entire submission to the will of God, well then what is God's will? What is his instructions? Do you understand? And so it says, and to make clear to you some of that about which you have differences of opinion. Some of that, not all of it, because when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. He said, but I'm here to come to guide you into some of it. That's what Jesus told him. What is some? What is some of something?
A portion, a part.
A part. And now we prophesy in part. So Jesus, he was acknowledging that he was not the Spirit of truth. None of the prophets were the Spirit of truth, but they brought the truth in parts, so that the firstborn, the one that would be standing before you as I am now, telling you that this day Allah hath begotten me with his word. Do you understand? When he decrees a form for matter, he only says to it, be. And it is. And I'm the first man formed for the word of God to be absolutely poured into without measure. Do you understand? Before me, there was no God formed. See? That's why I'm as Paul said when he said, I once knew a man who was caught up to paradise. Remember the baby in Revelation that was caught up to God's throne? Well, the baby was caught up to paradise. A man-child. A man who humbled himself as a child, like Jesus said. It says, who is greatest in the kingdom of heaven? He whosoever shall humble himself as a little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. I have greater understanding than all of y'all because I humble myself to the word of God. I don't mind telling you that I got this from so-and-so. If I got something from you, I tell you I got it from you. How many times have I told you all that me and you can have a conversation, and after you done forgot about it and threw it away? I haven't. Do you understand? That's just the way my mind works. That's me. Nobody made me told me you should do this and you should do that. That's just the way I do. I have a conscience that if I make a misjudgment, about something. You remember when I told y'all I ain't gonna vote for Barack Obama? I don't know nothing about him. You remember that? And when after he became president, and I saw that he was a decent man, that wasn't nobody's buffoon and wasn't nobody's lackey, I came back publicly and apologized. I don't think it belittles anyone. That's what manhood is. If you want to take a bow when you want credit, when you make the right decision, then apologize when you made the wrong one. What did President Kennedy say? He said, success has 1,000 fathers. Failure is an orphan. Don't nobody like to acknowledge that they failed. Do you understand? But he took the blame for the Bay of Pigs and that kind of thing. Because, and he after that, he kicked himself for not following his own judgment and relying on the judgment of generals and people whose job it is to fight. You couldn't actually blame it on them, because all they are is advisors. You made the decision. Do you understand? And if you think that you're gonna be popular when you president, everybody gonna want to tell you what to do. And behind closed doors, you know what they're gonna be telling people? I'm the one that told him to do that. I mean, they ain't gonna give you no credit, no way. But when the blame, if it don't go right, they ain't gonna say, well, I came out, I told him that he should do that, and and if he any kind of man, he ain't gonna let you do that. Just like when the rollout of the Affordable Care Act didn't go so smooth and people was having hard times enrolling in it. President Obama didn't come out there and blame it on the people who told him it was ready. He took the blame. And I go for that. I like that. Now, so I'll read that verse again, because sometimes people forget what we was talking about. Sometimes I forget what we was talking about. So I know how that is. It says, and when Jesus came with clear arguments, he said, I have come to you indeed with wisdom. Wisdom is always instructions, brothers and sisters. That's why you hear people all the time say, boy, he made a wise move. Do you understand? Well, what instructed him to make that wise move? The instructions that his mind had in it. So that's wisdom. It says, I have come to you you indeed with wisdom, and to make clear to you some of that about which you have differences of opinion. So keep your duty to Allah and obey me. Allah said we sent no messenger but that he should be obeyed. What is the duty of man? The whole duty of man is to fear God and obey him. And your duty is to obey me. It's like many people that claim they in the FOI and all of that. They conveniently forget what the duty of the FOI is. The duty of the FOI is to deliver the 22 or more million spiritually dead to the Lamb of God. And I am the Lamb of God. And all you people out there calling yourself FOI, why you ain't bringing my people to me? Because you are liars. Hypocrites are surely liars. They claim titles that they don't really live up to. That's what makes them a hypocrite. It didn't say the duty of the FOI is for you to go out there and teach people. The duty of the FOI is to bring the 22 or more million dead to the Lamb of God. The Lamb of God is the Lord of Lords. And before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord, it is prophesied, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. That's why he told you when he was talking to you, he said, I don't know how much is lamb about me, but I know I'm little. He said, it is up to you to listen and then read and remember what you read. That Elijah was not the Lord, he was to come before the Lord. Elijah don't come after God, he goes before God. But you conveniently forget that. You ain't fooling me. No, sir. Yeah, I got your name and number. Don't you worry. I ain't gonna leave nobody out. You're not gonna get away with pretending to be ignorant. The messenger said that the truth is to be made so plain. I'm going to let you hear him. Because he sure said it. He said, you're not going to be able to claim ignorance. No, sir. Let's see here. I likes to make sure that everybody that want to know the truth has a chance to know the truth.
Get back again at the time. But he didn't know. But today our fantasy is renewed. And the light of the truth must shine so clear that you cannot claim there was a cloud between you and it. So clear that you cannot claim there was a cloud between you and it. The light of the truth must shine so clear that you cannot claim there was a cloud between you and it.
You remember, the book says, if you should reject so great a cloud of witnesses, by what shall you be saved? Huh? Why a cloud? Because now all you have of the man who you call Jesus is his water. Did you see Dune? Did you see Dune? Okay, well, when the this new one, whenever one of them died, all of his water was collected and put in a pool of others who had died, and they took their water and put it in that same pool, and they had decaliters, millions of decaliters of water from once living freemen, once living free men, and collected it together. That's what the Bible is. It's stored up water from Jesus, stored up water from Moses, stored up water. See, you would have never got that out of that. You see how my mind works? That's why I'm the only begotten Son of God. Because where there was no light, I extract light. Because it's light in every piece of matter. It's light in it. For me. That's why the Jews, the secret name of God is El Shaddai, the mighty Teat. Why? Because the universe itself is a mammary gland for me. Do you understand that? Okay. So now, and jealousy and envy makes people try to do what I do, when I done already told them they can't. They wind up deceiving themselves. Because Allah created me to do this. He didn't say I'm going to create some mortals. He said I'm going to create a mortal. So that's different from saying let us make man in our image. That man is a collective as well as an individual term. But a mean one. This day he begat me. Is there anybody that disagree with that? Did the brother get his answer? He satisfied? He had another question?
Yes, he had something else.
Okay, what is it?
He says, I understand the commandments ultimately come from God alone, the truth. But as the Son of Man, how would you summarize the current or present commandments of God to the nation?
He already gave you the commandments. And it's written, as I live, saith the Son of Man, every knee shall bow before me, and every tongue shall confess unto my God, which is the truth that I speak. Every tongue is confessing to me right now. You hear somebody arguing with me? You hear somebody putting up something in the way of dispute that proves that I'm wrong? No. Allah said he sent no messenger, but that he should be obeyed. Well, Allah said, Son of Man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the words at my mouth and give them warning from me. So I quote the word of God to you, giving you warning from him. And if you don't submit to me and follow me, you are going to be destroyed. Now, and I don't care if you the president, and I don't care if you the pauper, but everybody is going to be held accountable for what I said. You ain't going to be able to have an excuse, because I told you who I am. It ain't my fault if you are a disbeliever. The Holy Quran even tell me what to say to you on that. Say, well, say, oh, disbeliever, I don't serve that which you serve, nor do you serve him whom I serve. And that's what my followers are told to tell people. So, you ain't got to argue with nobody. You said, man, you know, I'm following the Son of Man, as I was instructed to do by the word of God. The Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath day. Now, this is the Sabbath day, and I'm the Lord. Now, any more questions? Okay. Now let's get back to the messenger here so I can clear up this cloud thing. Because the messenger said the truth is going to be made so clear that you won't be able to claim that a cloud was between you and a prophet. A prophet is the cloud. Do you understand? Well, Jesus said this. Now, you saying this, but Jesus said this. You saying this, but Muhammad said this. You saying this, son of man, but Muhammad don't agree with you. You can't find where Muhammad or Jesus or Moses or David or Solomon. Find something that I'm teaching that they disagree with. Point it out. They were sent to bear witness to me. As Jesus said. He said in the 18th chapter of John, Jesus told the people. He said in the 35th verse. No. Let's see here. The 33rd verse. Then Pontius Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Jesus and said unto him, Are you the king of the Jews? And Jesus answered him, saying, Are you saying this for yourself, or did others tell you this? Did you hear this from other people? And Pilate answered him. He said, Am I a Jew? Jesus could have very well said, Am I? But anyway, Jesus wasn't no Jew. But anyway, Pilate answered and said, Am I a Jew? He said, Thine own nation, man, and the chief priests have delivered you unto me. What have you done? What did you do, man? And Jesus answered and said, My kingdom is not of this world. Jesus meant his knowledge was not of this world. But he said, My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. Now, do that sound like that was his nation? If he was one of them, he wouldn't mind being delivered to them. And it says, But now is my kingdom not from hence. And Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? And Jesus answered. He said, That's what you say. You say that I'm a king. But to this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth, that I should bear witness unto the spirit of truth. And everyone that is of the truth understandeth my words. Do you understand? And that everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice. And he that is of God heareth God's words. You therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. And the only one who can take you into the presence of God is me. And if you don't submit to me and get in this class, you are as far from God as the Milky Way is from the earth, or even further. You look up and you say, That's the Milky Way. You never reach it. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. And when you look at the scriptures, it's like looking at the Milky Way. You can't reach it with your understanding. I'm the only one that can ascend and descend. Do you understand? Okay. So now, and I'm going to show you an example of that. I'm going to play a clip. Might be more than just a clip. I'm going to play something from March, I think it's March the 1st, 2015. I think it was 2015. Yeah. Let's see here. No, 2016. March the 1st, 2016. Let's see here.
Literacy of what's in the book. Do you understand? As he told Abraham, he said, I'm making my covenant between me and you, Abraham, and your seed. So, if I was not the seed of Abraham, I would not be privy to what Allah whispered in Abraham's ear. But he opened up my ear because I'm Abraham's seed. Now understand something. I don't want none of you to feel rained on.
Now, you see how slow I talk? Liars, if you listen to liars, you'll notice how fast they talk. You understand? You notice when Donald Trump come out them court things, he'll get up there and he'll start talking fast and saying this and this and this and that, and then when somebody try to question him, he turn around and walk away. Do you understand? Anyone who's comfortable with what they are saying to you and really believe that it is the truth, they want to engage you. They want you to get engaged because they want you to believe them. Do you understand? Ignorant people can be what you call sucked in by just telling them what they want to believe. Knowledgeable people, wise people, even when you tell them something that they want to believe, they want you to give them some facts to bolster that belief so that they don't sound like a parakeet when they go out there trying to say that they believe this or they believe that, and someone asks them, well, what makes you believe that? Where's your evidence of that? Because without evidence, you have no basis for believing a thing. Do you understand? So I'm gonna kind of speed this up a little bit because I talk pretty slow, and I wanna let you see this and hear this. So I'll speed it up just a little. It ain't gonna sound like it's speeded up, but it is, because
Is every member of your body a head? Is every member part of the membership of the head? Well, that's the way it is with us. The head of every man is Christ, and the head of Christ is God. You see? And that's the best way to put it, because when you look at every people, they have been given messengers. And their head, if they've been what they should be, their head is filled with the knowledge that that messenger gave them. But when you put all of you all's messengers together, I'm not just filled with what one of them brought, I'm filled with what all of them brought. Which gives me the ability to relate to all of you, no matter whose fold you may have been a part of. Huh? All right. So, brother preacher, I feel sorry for you because you should know this better than anybody. You should know that I'm the Lord. But you want to make money off of my words. You want to make money off of that. You notice you call this the Word of God, the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. Well, that tell you right there that it's not yours, and you should not be up trying to represent it. Know ye that the Lord, He is God. Well, then the Lord is the one that this word in these books was meant to be spoken by, not by you. But anyway, I'm not going to prolong this. It was something else I wanted you to see, and I'm going to show you that. Because, you know, the truth ultimately comes out. I just happened to see this when I came home last night, and I thought that you might want to see it too.
That does it for us tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow for our Super Tuesday coverage. Now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Good evening, Lawrence.
Rachel, we're going to Trump University tonight. Really? But of course it's closed down. So the best we can do is we have a former student of Trump University joining us tonight. You might want to take a look at this. Don't rush out the door. I will. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Well, Travis Smiley is also here with us tonight to discuss Donald Trump, David Duke, and the Ku Klux Klan. As I said, one of the students of Trump University is here to tell us why he is suing Donald Trump in federal court for fraud.
My whole life has been money. I want money. I want money.
It's a commercial come on. It said, do you have protection against fraud? They say, yes, we have fraud protection. Yes, I'm saying you protect against fraud. Well, in this case, I guess fraud and frog is both. But anyway, just let's listen to this.
I will not allow the conservative movement to be taken over by a con artist by the name of Donald Trump. At Trump University, we teach success. That's what it's all about. Success. It's going to happen to you. It was a massive con job. What he told those students is exactly what he's saying to America now. We're going to become so successful at that. We're going to become so successful. It is a fraud. It is a scam. Oh, he's a con man. He's a con man. It's so insulting. Refuses to condemn the Ku Klux Klan. He was asked that yesterday repeatedly.
Will you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group.
I mean, I'm just talking about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan.
A very bad earpiece that they gave me, and you could hardly hear what he was saying. I don't care how bad the earpiece is. Ku Klux Klan comes through pretty clearly. I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. With an answer like that, you are either racist or you are pretending to be, and at some point, there is no difference there. Donald Trump knows nothing. That's what he said yesterday about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan. He said he knew nothing about David Duke and the Klan. Donald Trump flip-flops between being a know-it-all and knowing nothing, depending on which is the most convenient in that moment. Yesterday, he decided it was politically convenient in the morning for him to know nothing about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan because he does know that the avowed racist David Duke and many white supremacists support his campaign, the Donald Trump campaign. We will talk with Travis Smiley about why they support Donald Trump coming up. But first, we are going to Trump University. Of course, we can't actually go there because the fake university Donald Trump created was shut down 6 years ago after being in business for only 5 years. And it was not a university, it was a business. You were trying to know nothing about it because you're lousy. Well, I don't know anything about bankrupting four companies. No, I don't know anything about Let's go about there are people who are $36,000 on the Trump University and they're suing him now. $36,000. By the way, you know what they got? They got to make a budget on the start out of Donald Trump. By the way, they got $36,000. In an exhaustive investigation of Trump University for a time by Steve Brill, Mr. Brill reports, Trump University collected approximately $40 million from its students, who included veterans, retired police officers, and teachers. Trump personally received approximately $5 million of it. Here is a check from Trump University for $500,000 made out to Donald Trump and signed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump is now being sued in federal fraud cases, one of which the judge has allowed to be brought under the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, that's also known as RICO, which means that Donald Trump actually stands accused in federal court of being a racketeer. Here is how Donald Trump lured students to his fake university. We're going to have professors and adjunct professors that are absolutely terrific people, terrific brains, successful. We are going to have the best of the best. And honestly, if you don't learn from them, if you don't learn from me, if you don't learn from the people that we're going to be putting forward, and these are all people that are hand-picked by me, then you're just not going to make it in terms of the world of success. We're going to teach you better than the business schools are going to teach you. And I went to the best business school. Joining us now is Bob Gino, a former Trump University student and a plaintiff in one of the lawsuits against Donald Trump University. Also with us is Steve Brill, the founder of Court TV and the American Lawyer, who's written extensively about Trump University for a time. Bob, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Steve, thank you. You brought all your student materials here, these big notebooks. Let's see, we get a shot of that. Profit from real estate investing. What did you learn from all of this, and how much did you spend learning it?
Okay, I learned absolutely nothing, and I spent pretty close to $36,000, including my son's expenses. And one of the websites that they gave us at this presentation was the irs.gov website, and I knew what the IRS would be allowing for deductions, and the other one was a website called Zillow.com. So basically, these loose leaf binders contain PowerPoint presentations that are totally worthless. Like go around town and look for signs that say "for sale by owner." That's common sense, right?
Mm-hmm. So what did you expect to learn, and then when did you decide all of this was a waste of your money?
Okay, at the first retreat by James Harris, that one I gave a very favorable rating to because James Harris was the first motivational speaker I've ever heard in my life, and he motivated me to put $35,000 on my American Express card. And after that, the first seminar that I went to, a workshop, a retreat, whatever they decided to call it, I knew right away that I had been scammed because they tried to upsell me to take another program for $9,000, $4,000, $20,000, you name it.
Steve, this is so familiar to me because you have accounts exactly like this in your article with all these things. And Mr. Harris, the teacher you just mentioned, was the star.
He was the star, and he was paid a commission based not on his real estate expertise, but on how many people, like my friend here, he signed up. Those books look pretty thick, but there was a lot of
it is white space. I mean, here's a typical page right here. You can take notes here if you want.
There was something without white space, and that was the 135-page marketing playbook that Trump put together. And that had scripts in it, for example, so Mr. Harris...
For the teachers.
Exactly, for the teachers. So Mr. Harris would say, I was having dinner with Donald Trump the other night, and he confided this in me. In his deposition, Mr. Harris said he never met Donald Trump, he never had dinner, but he did that in order to stick to the script. I would urge all the members of the press to go to San Diego and get these court files. I also hope that, as with his tax return, that Mr. Trump will agree to unseal the parts of the court file that are sealed. He says this case is nothing. The best way to prove that would be not to seal all the records that he has sealed. And the records that I was able to get hold of are filled with incriminating things, such as that I had dinner with Mr. Trump. There are instructions on how to, quote, hook people, all kinds of sales gimmicks, especially the notion that we're going to get the very best people to do this. Does that sound familiar to you in any way?
Yeah,
it's the presidential campaign. Yeah. It is literally the campaign going on. And those records in San Diego, not so much the ones in New York, but the records in San Diego, the press should demand that he unseal those records.
Yeah, Bob, when we heard that pitch of Donald Trump saying, I'm going to get all the best people to teach you, that is exactly what he's saying about how he's going to run the government. When they ask him a question that he doesn't know the answer to, he's going to get all the best people.
And he also
heard all this before.
All of this before. And he also has a cover story now, which sounds like a lot of the campaign. When reporters are asking him about this, in fact, it happened during the debate, he says 98% of the people filled out answer cards that said they loved the course.
Well, first a rating that gave up the highest rating.
Right. And he did that right at the point he was being sold to buy the course, not when he realized it wasn't worth anything. In addition, of the 10,000 questionnaires that Mr. Trump has claimed in a deposition he has, that's curious because only 7,000 people took the course. And of those 7,000, the chief financial officer testified in a deposition that 32% got refunds before they stopped giving refunds. So if 32% demanded refunds, how could 98% of the people have been so wildly satisfied that in Mr. Trump's rendition, this is a better school than Harvard with a higher satisfaction rate than Harvard?
Bob, we just had your diploma up on the screen there.
Congratulations.
Donald Trump was asked under oath if the university granted degrees, and he said he didn't even know when he was asked that. This is, of course, not a real degree of any kind that you got. Did you know other students that were around you that was kind of dawning on them that this thing is not for real?
As far as the other students, I really didn't pay too much attention to them. But I knew it wasn't real because...
Now, why am I playing this? You remember when Donald Trump read the snake? So when you lose your republic, I'm talking to white people now. When you lose your republic, just remember, snakes run with other snakes if they're going to run with anything. Now, you see all of these people, like Arizona, a good example is Arizona. Rusty Bowers, he lost his seat in the legislature to somebody who was loyal to Donald Trump and promised that. Now, what if that person who was loyal to Donald Trump had been in Rusty Bowers' seat? Donald Trump would still be president as far as Arizona goes, because they wouldn't have been honest about the election results. Do you understand what's going on? Don't be distracted. While you concentrating on everything that Trump is getting here, you better watch them people who been out there behind closed doors moving themselves into positions to checkmate you. Do you understand? You better go in there and the FBI, you better take the gloves off and go on and arrest these people that's running around here trying to secretly overthrow your government. You remember Donald Trump said? He said, "I'm your retribution." You remember that? No, you don't remember. Let me see here. I want to find some things that I thought I had just a moment. I want to play these things for you.
Anywhere, anyone, anytime has said that I said the election was rigged, that would not be true.
New tonight, Arizona House Speaker Rusty Bowers, who you just saw, was widely praised for his integrity when he was pressured by the Trump White House to lie about the 2020 election. Now Bowers is paying a steep price.
The Arizona Republican Party has slapped him with a censure, and it's telling voters to fire him. Bowers told Team 12 political insider Bram Resnick today that he won't be bullied.
Rusty Bowers says he was expecting to pay a price. The censure is a formal disapproval of his actions, but it comes just 2 days before former President Donald Trump holds a rally in Prescott Valley with his endorsed candidates. One of them is challenging Rusty Bowers. It was a riveting moment.
And it is a tenet of my faith that the Constitution is divinely inspired.
Arizona House Speaker Rusty Bowers telling a national audience why he wouldn't violate his oath of office to help Donald Trump overturn an election.
For me to do that because somebody just asked me to is foreign to my very being. I will not do it.
Bowers now says he knew there'd be a price to pay.
These people didn't turn into thugs yesterday. They've been exercising this vindictiveness for years.
These people are Chairwoman Kelly Ward and the Trump wing of the Arizona Republican Party, a party the 69-year-old Bowers has belonged to since he could vote. Ward announced on Twitter late Tuesday that Bowers had been censured by party leadership. His list of alleged transgressions was long, largely not going along with legislation that the Trump wing wanted.
You can beat me, but you're not going to bully me. I'm not going to be bullied.
Bowers now faces a tough primary against the Trump-endorsed candidate who believes the devil rigged the 2020 election.
This is a real conspiracy headed up by the devil himself.
Bowers has a reputation as a capital...
Now, the devil himself. Deflect. They the devils who rigging the election. You saw Independence Day when the boy said, David, what is happening? He said they moving their ships in strategic positions. You play chess? He said, yes, but what does that mean? He said, it's a countdown. Did what? He said, checkmate. Do you understand? When you got dummies that's sitting around watching their country being systematically overthrown through the misinterpretation of law, and they sitting there watching it happen, and somehow think the Constitution is magic, that it can defend itself. If the Constitution could defend itself, you wouldn't have to take an oath to defend it. That's why Ben Franklin said we gave you a republic if you were not too cowardly to hold on to it. It amazes me how people they sit back. The crooks, they be out there roaring and talking all tough and bad, and the so-called people that say God is on their side standing there trembling. What kind of God you serving, boy, that makes you tremble at the devil? Now you let this good man lose an election to let a man who accused a good man of being a... What did they say Jesus had? Didn't they say Jesus had a devil? The crooks, they accused Jesus of having the devil and doing what he was doing in the name of the devil. But who was really the devils? Once you understand that devil means deviser of illusion, was Rusty Bowers devising illusions? Or was he speaking the truth? Come on. The man was very honest about where he stood. Even after you heard that Donald Trump told Mark, he said, Mark, what was Mark's last name? Come on, help me out, man. Y'all, Meadows, yeah. We can't say we lost. That's embarrassing. Huh? He knew he lost. But he knew that he had a lot of people out there that he could just say anything to, and they was going to support him because he's a racist dog. A racist despiser of God. Anytime you stand up and lie, it's because you hate the truth. If you are a consistent liar, you naturally hate the truth. Because the truth manifests that you lying. Now, why you think none of them coming in to talk to me? Now, if they could sell me some wolf tickets, they'd be in here. Well, we gonna pay you a visit. We gonna do so and so. You gonna come on and visit me. They got mortuaries all over this country. They ain't just got them in Mississippi. They got them where you live. I'm going to tell you something. The same God that put that lesson in there about a man named Moses. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That story you read in there about Moses leading somebody across the Red Sea, the Moses that brought the Bible, I should say that brought the Torah, he ain't led nobody out of Egypt. Moses brought white people out of the cave. That Moses that you read there about a Pharaoh that got drowned and all of that kind of thing, that's a prophecy. That's a prophecy about me. That's what's coming to all y'all that's my enemies. So, I notice ain't nobody saying, you don't know what you talking about. Huh? So Rusty Bowers, the people rejected him. Didn't want him. Don't want no honest man up there. They want to put liars in the legislature of Arizona. I told you, y'all better keep your eye on these people. Whenever, I'm going to tell you something else. You need to make stronger laws that govern people who hold offices in your government, state, local, state, and national. That when you take an oath to uphold the Constitution, if you violate that oath, it should be mandatory that you be put in prison. Mandatory. God spared not angels that disobeyed him, but cast angels into hell. And you think that ain't, let me show you. You said you was going to be like God. Well, be like God. People that disobey your Constitution, Give them a mandatory sentence. What is, son?
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. It says, for if God spared not the angels that sinned. I remember one in particular. He sent this man into a city and told him don't eat or drink nothing there. And so the man met another prophet that was in the city. And the prophet invited him to come eat. And the man said, God hath forbidden me to eat or drink anything here. He said, well, he couldn't have meant you couldn't eat and drink with me. You know, I'm a prophet too. And so the man, he decided, yeah, that sounds reasonable. And when he ate and drank with that prophet, when he was on his way back to where he was going, a lion met him and slew him. And the man that fed him and gave him something to drink found him and, buried him. But he told people, he said, come and see what was the end of the man who disobeyed God. You remember I told y'all you're going to get enough of disobeying me when I tell you to do this and don't do this and do that and check with me before you go and do this. You're going to get enough of that. You better quit. You better quit dealing with me like you can take or leave what I say while claiming you my follower. That ain't going to be tolerated forever. Remember I said if you don't take the lesson, what happens? It says, God spared not angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Yeah. And when the only thing you got reserved in your mind, in your memory, is false ideas, thinking that they true ideas, every time you make a judgment about something, it's going to be wrong. Did you hear what I said? See, most people don't understand. Education comes in little circles. It's linked together. The first grade is linked to the second grade, and the third grade, and the fourth grade. And all through life, you linking other knowledge to what you already have. You better make sure you ain't linking a bunch of darkness together. Because when you make judgments based on a lie, thinking that it's the truth, you ain't going to like the result you got. Do you hear me? Okay. All right. I know this don't frighten most of them fools out there, but it scares the hell out of me. I don't never want a devil for my companion. No, sir. I want Allah to be with me wherever I go. I want the truth go with me. And if the truth ain't with me, I don't want to go. Do you understand? No, sir. I'm scared to go by myself. I ain't independent. Allah is independent. I depend on Allah. See, when I'm standing up here teaching, I'm depending on the truth. The truth don't depend on me. Do you understand? The truth don't stop being the truth because I ain't here. The truth is always the truth. You see? So let's go to some of these other ones. Let me show you. Because you don't understand what Trump be talking about.
I stand here today, and I'm the only candidate who can make this promise. I will prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily. In 2016, I declared, I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior, I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution. Not going to let this happen.
Tell me something. Retribution against who? See, that's the first step. Let me show you now. You know, you don't think deep enough. You get so caught up in the moment, in emotionalism, when you're dealing with somebody like Donald Trump that's into lying and misdirection and all that kind of stuff, you got to pay attention to certain catchphrases that they throw out there, speaking to he that hath ears. Do you understand? Let's look up retribution. R-E-T-R-I-B-U-T-I-O-N. R-E-T-R-I-B-U-T-I-O-N. Retribution. Let's see. Punishment administered in return for a wrong that was committed. Punishment or reward distributed in a future life based on performance in this one. Let's see here. How about a way of life? Punishment or reward distributed in a future way of life based on performance in this way of life. How that sound? Let's see here. The act of punishing or taking vengeance for wrongdoing, sin, or injury. Who was he talking to? He was talking to the Ku Klux Klan. He was talking to all of his supporters. And all of his supporters are people that believe in the Nazi Party and all of these kind of things. So who they want retribution against? America first. the Union first. The Confederacy, they want retribution. And Donald Trump said he's their retribution. That's what he said, didn't he? But see, you have to first ask yourself, who thinks that they were done wrong by the United States? Hitler had a train at one time that he named America because he was getting so much steel and stuff from the United States. Until they woke up and realized that they was helping the wrong man. Do you understand? So, and they turned on him. You know, you keep on playing around with people like Donald Trump, you're going to get enough of playing with fire. It's going to burn you one of these days. You better cut that foolishness out. You better send a message to him and people like him. It's like some of these people still being arrested and put in jail for that January 6th thing. But you need to send a very strong message to anyone who would dare to attempt to overthrow and disrespect your Constitution and your flag and what they truly represent. Who disagrees with me? You see, I told you they wasn't men. Didn't I tell you that they're cowards? They're out there secretly putting themselves in positions where they can overthrow the vote count and all of that kind of thing. And you better watch these dogs. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. All right. All right. Now, I want to let you hear something else. I like to make sure that I cover all the bases. Let me see.
The news tonight is a breakthrough where the court has actually now selected and sworn in jurors today.
Oh,
0 yesterday. And
that ain't the one. Let me see here. Maybe it's this one.
The news tonight is a breakthrough where the court has actually now selected and sworn in jurors today. 0 yesterday, and today not just...
I thought I had recorded it. I guess I didn't. It was It's funny how you sometimes I look at so many things, and I think I done recorded. I be thinking I recorded it and I didn't. Let me see. Let me go back and see if I can find it. You all give me a minute. Let's see. When was this one? It was yesterday. I think this is it. Let's see.
Time to upgrade your tire inflator. It's not an option, but a necessity. Here's why. Denvik's tire...
Okay, so welcome back to the show, Tony, and of course...
Let's see. Huh? Yeah, maybe that was it. Let's see here. There it is. Let me see. That might have been it right there. Thank you, son. course, I don't look at him that regularly, so it should. Say what? History? Okay. Okay. Let's see. You all pardon me a moment. I'm trying to find something that was that I saw. I thought it was yesterday. Let me see. Get this out the way. I'm working my way to it. Y'all give me a minute. You know, so many things come up, and I'll be watching them and be thinking it was just a few minutes ago, and it might have been days ago. Let's see here. Just a moment. We're getting there. It was Roy Cohn's, the lawyer. There was a kind of history on him. That his cousin or somebody was speaking with Michael. Huh? Yeah. Wasn't that lawyer's name Roy Cohn? There it is. Yeah, Roy Cohn's cousin. Okay, that's it. Well, y'all be knowing these computers, don't you? Let's see here.
When I was like 14, 15 years of age in Brooklyn at a club called the El Carib, which was
I think I'll start it from the
Do
beginning.
you think that your mind is scaring away all of the money that you've been trying to manifest for the romance?
These people sure enough be scamming on these things. Anyway.
spoiled princeling of an only child. Were there signs from the beginning that he would turn out to be a completely immoral man?
Yeah, Michael, and good to see you again, by the way, and thank you for speaking up when you're not under gag orders, because we all need to speak up if we love this country. Michael, as I tell you about Roy Cohn, I want you to keep 3 words in mind that apply to Roy Cohn, Michael.
Now remember, I told you if this country is going to be saved, if this country's democratic republic is going to be saved, white people going to have to get in front and lead the way. You remember Babylon 5? Remember when what was that crooked president's name? Clark. When President Clark had took over the government by getting rid of Santiago, the president, he murdered him. And the captain, Captain Sheridan, and all of them, they had a lot of the other planets allies, a lot of foreign, what they call aliens, as allies. But when they got ready to take the government away from that crooked president, Clark, Sheridan, he told the Membaris and all of them, you can help us, but you can't lead the way into this. This has to be between the earth and the earth. Do you understand? You can assist in what you call humanitarian ways, but we don't want the people thinking that this is an alien force coming against the earth. This has to be a clean fight. So likewise, I'm just sounding the wake-up call to white people. You got some snakes up there, and they don't give a damn about this flag. Donald Trump showed you he didn't give a damn about the flag when he figured out a way to not go into the military. He wasn't man enough to just say, no, I'm not going to go in and take whatever happened to him. No, he got some phony excuse, bone spurs and all that stuff on his feet and all that stuff. Because the man is a coward, period. Because he don't stand for anything. Con men generally don't. They just pretend they do. Do you understand? Do you honestly think that a white man in Mississippi would be coming to me apologizing to me if he thought I was a phony? How many white people you done heard apologize to Farrakhan? I didn't hear you. Matter of fact, I remember once Donahue brought up Milton Coleman, and he said, now what did you say you wanted to do with Milton Coleman? And Farrakhan said, Mr. Donahue, you said we wasn't going to talk about that. In other words, he got behind closed doors and made up with Donahue something that they could talk about, and don't bring up this and don't bring up that. And Donahue just did like that. He shrugged his shoulders because Farrakhan told on himself. I don't do that. If you see me in an interview with somebody, it ain't fake. I remember what's his name? What that brother used to have that syndicated. What's his name? Polk? Tom Polk. And after I gave him his dues and whatnot, he said, now what do you want me to ask you? I said, what you mean? What I want you to ask me? I want you to interview me. And he said, well, generally, people tell you what they want to be asked. I said, I ain't going to go out here and put on no show. If you can show that I ain't the Son of Man, ask the question. Ask me something that's real. I want you to interview me. And I was disappointed. But it also enlightened me as to how these interviews and things go. I don't do that. Anybody that knows me know that I'm me. If I'm wrong, I don't know I'm wrong. If you show me that I'm wrong, then I owe you a thank you. Do you understand? So, it's like when the white man came back in here and apologized to me because he called me a cult, suggested that I'm a cult leader. And he he came back later and he said, I just want to say, I'm sorry. I didn't, for calling you a cult and that kind of thing. No, I'm not no cult leader. I'm the Son of Man. Now, you may not like what I teach, but until you prove that what I teach is wrong, you better err on the side of caution. So, now listen at this man. He's going to tell you where I got that 3 Ds from. Because I got it from him. That's where I heard it at first, from him. So I'm started over.
Hey, Dave, great to have you back on the show, especially as Trump heads to court. We have a lot to talk about, so as usual, I'm just going to jump right in. You've written extensively about your cousin, the very famous, or as we like to say, the infamous Roy Cohn. And Cohn is said to have been Donald Trump's greatest teacher. So do me a favor, tell us who was Roy Cohn. Because you said that he was an incredibly spoiled princeling of an only child. Were there signs from the beginning that he would turn out to be a completely immoral man?
Yeah, Michael, and good to see you again, by the way, and thank you for speaking up when you're not under gag orders, because we all need to speak up if we love this country. Michael, as I tell you about Roy Cohn, I want you to keep 3 words in mind that apply to Roy Cohn, my cousin, as well as the infamous Donald Trump. The 3 words are deny, delay, distract. That is what Roy Cohn taught him. Now, Roy Cohn, for those who don't know, especially your younger listeners and viewers, Roy Cohn was an attorney, was a fixer, was a mob boss, was a mob connector, and he and Donald Trump bumped into each other in 1973, and this is where everything started.
Now, notice them 3 words. Now, I had one of them wrong, but deny, delay, and distract. Why those 3 words? It is because they come from, and that's advice given to someone who commits crooked things, who does crooked things. So the first one is deny what you have been accused of. Deny it. And then when they try to bring you into court, delay. And then when they while you are delaying it, create something else out there to distract from the fact that you are delaying. Do you understand? And that's what Donald Trump been doing. Do you understand? Okay, just
in my view, Donald Trump and his father were really in trouble with the federal government because they owned these apartments in Brooklyn and they were not letting blacks rent these apartments. And Roy Cohn basically told him, and we've seen this again and again and again from Trump, to just go on the offensive about the government. Don't admit guilt. And in fact, Trump settled out of court, but he went on the offensive about the government. And Roy, for the next 13 years, was his mentor, and Donald Trump was at his feet, at his knees.
So as the government was holding him accountable for breaking the law, he attacks the government. Do you understand? Like he's doing now. You know, the only way you're going to keep your republic is you're going to have to go back to what was working. If you are innocent, especially if you're white in this country, you don't have to fear to go to trial. Why? Because the jury is going to hear evidence, not gossip. Do you understand? And they're going to be instructed that you are presumed innocent until the people that's accusing you give them proof beyond a reasonable person's ability to have doubt of your innocence. And if they don't meet that burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, then they're going to find you not guilty. Now, why Donald Trump don't want to go to trial? I thought it was such a witch hunt that he was talking about. If it's a witch hunt, you ain't got no evidence. Do you understand? Look, man, you better stop going along to get along. I just didn't want to rock the boat. I didn't want to, create a ruckus. Anything other than to say what you really are, you just a coward. You didn't want them coming after you. They done already came after you. They coming after your country, man. I don't want no trouble. Well, you got trouble. I think that's what that's what Ringo told Wyatt there. Till Doc stepped in. Now, Doc had the right idea. He said, that's just my game. Come on over. I'll be your Huckleberry. And that fixed it. See, a bully knows who to mess with. And he also knows who to leave alone. But sometimes he gets it wrong on who to mess with. And he sometimes don't live to regret that mistake. That's what Pharaoh's problem was. He didn't even have sense enough to realize that Moses used to be scared of him. Now, why Moses ain't scared of you no more? Anyway.
Learning these lessons, Roy, we can go into, but Roy had been just a heinous person in the, well, first of all, he put the Julius and Ethel Rosenberg to death for spying. That never should have happened. It never did happen with anybody else. And then in the McCarthy era, which some people know about, Senator Joe McCarthy, Roy went on this fake campaign against so-called communists in the State Department and elsewhere in the government. He also went after gay people, even though he was, I wouldn't even say closet, he was openly gay. It just, in those days, it wasn't talked about. And on and on and on. But Roy taught Trump to not back down. And as I said again, to deny, to delay, and to distract. And it's incredible to me, Michael, you served 13 and a half months or whatever it was in the slammer. Nothing has happened to Trump yet.
No, nothing. And you're right, it was 13, it was about 13 and a half months.
Now remember, Donald Trump accused President Biden of weaponizing the Justice Department. But that's actually what Trump did when Barr was there. Made cases against him disappear. And Barr went along with it. They done showed you things in your government that need fixing. It's up to you to fix it. You know, ain't no man that's the Attorney General of the United States, he ain't got no business having to answer to the president. I mean, it's just like, you fix it where the Supreme Court don't have to answer to the president. And he picks them. Well, the Attorney General shouldn't have to answer to him either. Anyway.
Out of what was supposed to be a 36-month sentence, and with federal, good time, 15% off, it would have been 30 months, but as a result of COVID, which interestingly enough, because the First Step Act was actually put into play under the Trump administration by Bill Barr, and I mean, there's so much that we can talk about there. I'm pretty sure, had he thought for a second that would have benefited me to come out early, I guarantee you that the First Step Act never, or the CARES Act, would never have gotten passed by Donald. That's 100%, in my opinion, that is absolutely accurate. But I want to just go back to when I said that you have said that Roy was an incredibly spoiled princeling of an only child. Now, Donald was clearly not an only child. He was one of 5. But he certainly was spoiled, and he certainly held himself out to be a princeling. If you would, sort of describe, because there really is very little in terms of similarities between Donald and Roy Cohn, right? Especially I'm going to talk about in terms of physical size. That's certainly for sure. In terms of intelligence, that...
You know what princeling is referring to, right? One of the devil's names is the Prince of Darkness. And instead of calling him a changeling, he's calling him a princeling. Do you understand? So, I told you, they got ways of talking that, you just have to remember history and remember the Word of God, and it starts coming clear, just like the mafia. The Catholic Church is the Roman Catholic Church. And remember, the Jews said, if we leave Jesus alone, the Romans are going to come and take away both our place, our positions, and the nation. The Romans, they're the ones who had the senators and the all of that kind of thing. So you see Rome still here. There's senators and that kind of thing. And so they borrowed little pieces of something old, something new, something borrowed, but all deceptive, something blue. But anyway, it's much to be unpacked in this stuff that they saying. But look, you have as the jinn, which is the white man, some of them are good. That's why the scripture refers to them as the family tree, or the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Do you understand? And so, when God made everything, he looked at it and said, he didn't just say it was good, he said it's very good. Well, then when he gave this man dominion over all of them things that was very good. He gave that man good knowledge. But the man was good, but the nature of how he would handle his rulership is evil. Do you understand? Because he was blind in one eye. He was spiritually blind. And so he's referred to as the Antichrist, or the one-eyed liar. Because he's lying when he stand up and tell you about God. He's lying when he stand up there and tell you he's leading you to God. No, he's misleading you, and he's guiding you away from God. Do you understand? What? I'll tell you what. Be honest. If I came in one of y'all's churches, would you be willing to listen to me? No. You want to run me out of there. Why? Not because I'm lying, but because I'm telling the truth that goes against all of the lies that you've been taught by these people that call themselves preachers and imams and rabbis and mullahs and sheikhs and all these cardinals and bishops and all of this stuff. All of them been lying to you. Coming in here telling me about some Geno Jennings or T.D. Jakes. Where you find Geno Jennings in the Bible? T.D. Jakes. And then when I offered to show Geno Jennings myself in there, he tried to make a joke out of it. Well, while he's trying to find himself. What you mean, trying to find myself? I'm all through the book. So you in the day now where the truth has come. The white people now waking up and realizing that their house is on fire. You heard him say everybody that love this country need to start speaking up. And not just speaking up, stand up. And when people threaten you about what they gonna come do to you, you tell them, you ain't said nothing but let's dance, nigga. Roar back at them. If God is for you, who are you afraid of? If right is on your side, how do you not know that God is on your side? The whole universe is on your side if you are right. You should study the history of your war against a tyrant king. You know them settlers, they had no business winning no war against no professional army. But they did. Under a general who was a farmer also. George Washington. And you dishonor their memory by letting people come in there and boo-boo all over the floor of the Capitol building and spread feces all on the wall. And call themselves patriots. They are patricidal idiots. Anyway, see, I can't even provoke them to say nothing. They won't say nothing to me. Then why they always on the phone talking to the people who just quietly was doing their job? They didn't have no problem talking to Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman. Was that her name? You know why they say a coward dies 1,000 times? A coward dies just over and over and over again. Why? Because whatever you threaten a coward with, they submit. You saw that with the Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion. I do believe in spooks. I do believe in spooks. And the witch said, you going to believe in more than that when I get through with you. That's right. Why? When you find somebody that you can bully, turn up the heat. That's what the bullies do. A liar. Being a coward. You know that's against nature. But what can you say? If you truly loved your country, they wouldn't have nothing they could threaten you with that was going to make you back down and let them just do what they please to your nation. Running around here flying a Confederate flag in your face. And you letting them get away with it. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't get away with it with me. You don't have a right to fly a flag that rose up, that people was flying that rose up to try to overthrow and destroy this government. You flying a swastika. No, you ain't got that right. Because it incites rebellion. You don't have a right to incite riots and rebellion against the government. You don't have that right. You have the right to peaceful protests for the redress of grievances. But you don't have the right to pick up a flag and talk about, I'm your retribution. Retribution against who? Against the Union for putting down the treasonous acts of the Confederacy, who declared that Abraham Lincoln is not our president. Jeff Davis is our president. Which meant that they wanted to split up and destroy the United States. Hence the term, the Union Army. Confederates are not united. They are like wolves. They are temporarily hunting together. Anyway, of course, you know, I may not know what I'm talking about. So some of you want to come in here and correct me on some of these things that I've been mistaught on. So share it with me. I remember them some of them nutty followers of Donald Trump was asked to sing the Star Spangled Banner. You know they claim to be patriots, you know. I told you, they are patriots to the Confederacy. There ain't no patriot to the United States. Their patriotism was to the Confederacy. And Donald Trump told them, I am your retribution. Put me in there and I'll help you tear down this country. That's what he was saying. And that's what he's been trying to do ever since he got into politics. He adopted something that Tony Stark said on Iron Man. Make your friends rich and your enemies rich until you figure out which is which. And you still don't know what that meant. You see? If you make them all rich, see who love money so much that they will sell out. Because some people that you thought was friends, you'll discover that you can't buy their friendship like that. You can't get them to sell their country out. And some of them that you thought was enemies, if you give them enough money, you can buy their loyalty. Do you understand? So make them all rich and then promise them more if they will pledge their loyalty to you. Till you find out which is which. Do you remember he owned up to the fact that he donated to Democrats and Republicans? Yeah. Where was he getting the money from? Yeah. Good question, huh? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm giving you as much warning as I can, trying to help you keep your republic. You know, I would think that every white person in America would have been against a dictator. You've been to that rodeo before. You know, the only people that don't mind dictators are people who are lazy and trifling. You notice, the people who was leaving the USSR were the scientists and the intelligent class of people. They was leaving in droves. Because a man who has a sound mind, an intellectually enhanced and blessed, gifted, is able to think. You don't want nobody standing up over here threatening him for thinking. If people don't give you if a government does not allow its people the freedom to speak, that's what freedom of speech is. The freedom to speak what is true without fear. I've heard some of them say, I may not agree with everything that person said, but I would stand wall to wall with them for their right to say it. If it's true. Goes without saying, you ain't got the freedom to go around slandering people. He said, why don't he tone himself down? The Lord shall descend from heaven with a shout. not a whisper. No. Allah knew who to give it to. He knew exactly what he was doing when he gave it to me. Me and the messenger had that in common. He said, brother, are you with me? Yeah, if you back me up. Yeah, I'm with you. Just back me up. He said, I'm backing you up, brother. That's right. You see Allah backing me up. Otherwise, why am I able to stand before the whole world and say all your religions are false? Do that leave out any? And how come don't none of them challenge me on that? He it is who sent his messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth. That's what the book said. That he may make it overcome the religions. How many of them? All of them. Though the polytheists, those who believe in more than one God, though the polytheists may be averse. Let's see here. I like to find things that that the messenger said that people don't realize. Let's see here. Here it is. This is the Holy Quran, chapter 61, and verse 9. He it is, Allah, who has sent his messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth, that he may make it prevail. In righteousness he doth judge and make war, and he shall prevail over all religions. Though the polytheists, those who believe in more than one God, though the polytheists are averse. Averse is against it. I'm going clockwise, they going counterclockwise. Huh? But when they run into me, full stop. Huh? Like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. I shall not be moved. Why? Because the truth is the irresistible force, and the Son of Man is the immovable object. And I and my Father are one, and the irresistible force is one with the immovable object. Hey, talking about what happens when the irresistible force meets the immovable object. They cancel each other out. That's a lie. They are one. Now, listen at this.
The resurrection of the dead means the resurrection of people that is mentally dead to the knowledge of self and truth. Let's go over here, Reverend, and Ezekiel. There is a symbolic field of dry bones. They're not real bones in reality. They're human beings. Can these bones live? Right over there. Son of Man, he called his messenger here the Son of Man. In reality, they're human beings. Can these bones live? Right over there. Son of Man, he called his messenger here the Son of Man. Can these bones live? Right over there. Son of Man, he called his messenger here the Son of Man. Can these bones live? Right over there. Son of Man, he called his messenger here the Son of Man.
He it is who has sent his messenger. Who is his messenger? Son of Man. Go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. Whether they hear you or whether they refuse. Do you understand? Well, I ain't going to listen to you. Do you think that makes a hill of beans to me? I only care to do what Allah told me to do. Speak to you. You stop up your ears if you want to. Ignore me if you want to. I know what you're going to be doing in the end. Then I'm going to ignore you. Yep. Allah knows how tenderhearted his messengers are. He know I care about you, and I'm quick to forgive and feel sorry for you. But he already said, if Muhammad forgives you 70 times 7, he said Allah will never forgive him. See, he won't let you take misadvantage of my tender heart. Nope. So I'm quick to forgive people. It don't take no long. You ain't got to grovel to me. But you know how some judges be sitting up on the bench and they would look at a person that they really think might deserve a little mercy, and they says, I'm sorry, son, the law won't let me do nothing. Noah told his people, I'm sorry, I can't open to you. Huh? I can't. And when I could, I did, and you made mockery of me. That's why the messenger told me that when it's all said and done, he said, it ain't going to make no difference. You can laugh or cry. It ain't going to make no difference. That's going to be it. I understand what he meant now. Because I remember you laughed at me. You wished the worst on me. You didn't want nothing I did to be successful. Even when you saw it being successful, some of you just walked off. Left me with bills and everything. You remember that boy walked out of here with $3,000 a month that we had he was bringing in to help do this work, Allah had blessed him. Just walked off, and I got into debt and everything. Allah still helped me to pay the debt. We didn't go bankrupt. No. But he did. Don't make no difference how much money you got. If Allah ain't with you, it ain't gonna help you. Look at Donald Trump. Don't make no difference how much you have. It will not do you any good. You can't buy your way into paradise. Now, like Thanos told him, we want peace. He said, you mistaken quiet for peace. No, quiet ain't peace. That's why you say you use the term peace and quiet. Do you understand? A cemetery is quiet, and them people in the cemetery ain't resting in peace. Ain't nobody in them bodies in the cemetery. All them people is absent from them bodies. Do you understand? That's why you say it's a dead body. Ain't nobody resting in peace there. You got on the R.I.P. Yeah. That's the lie you tell yourself. But the truth is, do you know that if them people was resting in peace and you put that cross on their chest and open them up to do an autopsy or whatnot, they'd be screaming and hollering and taking the blood out of them, or filling them with the embalming fluid, and you talking about resting in peace? How they resting in peace? You need to quit lying, man. Of course, lying is big business. What is television? Man made up a story and put it on TV, and everybody on there lying. What's your name? And now I love Star Trek now. Don't get me wrong. But Captain Kirk is just a fictitious character. He's lying when he says Captain Kirk. His name is William Shatner. And Spock was one of my favorite characters too, but his name is Leonard Nimoy, and I didn't forget that. Do you understand? I didn't forget that all that's a lie. These people running around here, they just, every time you look up, somebody done wrote a book. They got the biggest section in the library is fiction. And even this nonfiction is subject to scrutiny. Do you understand? Because a lot of things they say is nonfiction. They used to say it's nonfiction that you're going to fall off the earth if you sail out on it too far. Huh? Not to mention the fools that got out of the ends of the earth that meant it was flat. Have you flew to the end of it yet? Boy, it's really something to hear people trying to put forth a lie when the truth is just everything that's hidden in the way of facts. It's now being made manifest. You see? It's just like if you watch the way a plane fly or a helicopter, then you know you have to constantly watch that altimeter on there, because you can't just fly straight, because the earth is curved. And so you fly on what they call a vector, keeping up with the curvature of the earth so that you stay at the same height. Do you understand? But, you can't, a fool is a fool because he is unreasonable or she is unreasonable, unable to reason. Like a child. A child is filled with foolishness because they don't yet have a mind that is expanded enough to be able to reason with you. Do you understand? So you are not able to reason with the child, so you train the child to do what? To obey you. So that they can live, even in their foolishness, in fear of you, so their fear of you makes them appear to have a degree of understanding. It's like when they run out to the street and you say, you better not let me see you go off that sidewalk. They run to that sidewalk and they stop. And you say, boy, that's a smart little baby. That baby don't know why he got to stop. He just know he better stop or he go get something put on his behind. Do you understand? So I'm trying to show you some things. But anyway, but as they see cars, and especially if they see a dog get hit by a car, then they understand why they were told you better not go off that curb. Do you understand? Because they don't seen the dog get killed by a car. And then they scared to go out in that street. And that's good. You see? It's just like me. I grew up watching people drink and smoke. And I started drinking and smoking. Not in my mother's house. My daddy didn't drink and smoke, and my mama didn't either. But my friends' mom and dad, now they drank 45 malt liquor and that kind of thing. They smoked. And I saw other people doing it. So I snuck and did it. Do you understand? And my mom and them didn't know. And so I was out there and I watched people, take Red Devils, Sycanol, I think they called it was Sycanol, and Benny's, them whites, I never did that. I didn't like putting something in me that I couldn't control, but I watched how it made other people walking around, we call it loaded, but actually made them sleepy. And they, you take them reds, they make you feel sleepy. And that was supposed to be cool. And smoking grass, I tried that a little bit. I tried smoking some grass. I didn't like the way it made me feel. And I just, you could bring up a subject and I'd be sitting there, and then my mind would just be on that one thing. And then I see some of the ones that were smoking it with me, they'd be laughing. And I realized they were laughing at me. Then I'd catch myself and, laughing at stuff that wasn't funny and all that old kind of thing. Just bust out laughing or whatever. That ain't no good feeling. And so because that was crazy to me. But anyway, I drank alcohol, and I took a liking to that because of how it made you feel a little tipsy and happy. But you could overdo it and it could make you sick. But anyway, when I saw my brother, a couple of them, one of them tried some of that LSD. I think they called it purple haze at that time. But anyway, he never actually was ever right again after that. So that kind of sobered me up quick. So I guess my brother suffering that was he paid a lesson. You know, he became the lesson for me. So but I don't see how these young people now can just destroy themselves with drugs like they're doing. It's just crazy. It is literally crazy. And it basically started with my generation. My generation is the generation that never let go of childhood resentments and all of that kind of thing. Most people grew out of that. Seemed like the 50s, them baby boomers, these people grew up talking about they ain't gonna raise their children like their parents raised them and whatnot. I can understand white people not going along, but none of us did. The black and white. Of course, that's the only way the world was gonna change. The children would be against their parents, against the ways that their parents conducted themselves. A lot of white people, when they found out how low down their parents were, they just walked out of their parents' house. Found out they had been lied to. Lying to them about black people, as though we were some kind of mortal enemy to them or something. And they found out that black people wasn't that. And then some of us, we had to get out from under our parents because they was Uncle Toms. Scared to death to speak up when people mistreat them. Going over there begging the white man like he's some god or something. You ain't got no business begging him for nothing. That's what give him a God complex. You act like a child, so he treats you like a child. Somebody mistreating you and kicking you away from their door and stuff, and you over there like a old sick dog or something. Back in there again. You ain't got to tell me but once. I don't want you in my yard. I'm out of here, and I won't be back. I don't want you in my store. I'm out of here, and I won't be back. No. I'm not going to beg you to take my money. Begging somebody to let you sit up at their lunch counter that hate you. You ain't got to spit in my food. You ain't got to do nothing to me because I ain't coming in there. Well, now thank you for letting me see that you don't care. No, that you hate me so much. No, you ain't got to give me water. You ain't got to give me nothing. I'm out of here. See? That's why I never could have been a part of that movement. That never would have. Because I ain't finna let you hit me and I don't fight back. I got to fight back. Now you might kill me, but I'm gonna do something. Maybe I can take you with me. But either way, no, I ain't taking no beating off of you. You ain't gonna have to beat me to get out of your restaurant, or beat me to get out of your neighborhood. I ain't coming in there. I don't want to live around you. No. I want to live around people who look like me. And let you live around folks that look like you. And if we can find some kind of way to do business with each other, we'll do that. I don't want you marrying my daughter, and I don't want to marry yours. No. So that's that. I want to stay black, and you can stay white. And that's fine with me. But you can't seem to keep yourself from rolling through my community trying to get next to my woman. Well, raising hell if a little black youngster was accused, according to you, of whistling at a white woman. You murdered him. You ain't never practiced what Jesus taught, and then want to call yourself a follower of Jesus. You ain't, you a murderer of Jesus. And you celebrate that even to this day. You say y'all murdered him. Yes, that's what you've been saying. Good Friday, you called it. So that's why they don't want to come in here and talk to me. They talk to anybody but me. Yeah. Yep. They had to leave Congressman Thompson alone. Now, if he had been talking to Farrakhan, they'd have still been talking about him. But see, they couldn't keep talking about him talking to me lest they talk to me and show people me. But then they'd have to interview me. They don't want to talk to me. No. So they just pretend that I don't exist. The other night, brother stopped me in the middle of the meeting to tell me that they got us in YouTube here as one person is looking. One person. I said, well, I ain't surprised. They don't want nobody to know his people watching me. Do you understand? I understand. But all that's going to come back and bite them. Because Allah watching. And everything they do to try to hinder people from coming to me, it's going to fail. And at the same time, they're going to be held accountable for what they did when they were told to stop all their evil in my day. You see? Now they got laws that if a police officer, which is, sent by their authority, is in the performance of his duty, anything you do, it better not interfere with what he's doing. Because if you interfere with an officer in the performance of his duty, they're going to arrest you. They can charge you with that. So you're going to be charged with everything you did to interfere with me getting to my people. That's just that simple. Judge you by your own book. If you wasn't going to help me, you should have stayed out of my way. Yeah. See, I've been keeping up. See, you can't judge people by what you claim to believe, but you can judge people by what they claim to believe and by the laws that they made. Is it anybody that does not think that I am ordained by Allah, God, to stand up and represent Him? Who doesn't believe that I have been ordained by Allah, God, to represent Him to the world? Come in and tell me why you don't believe it and why they shouldn't believe it. Anybody typing?
No, sir.
No hands up?
No
Okay, any of y'all that say you got your hand up and it ain't being recognized, my cell phone number is 601-786-1332. 601-786-1332, because I don't want these people playing games on the on the phone either. You see, sometimes you may have your hand up and it be showing, but it ain't showing on our screen there. So if you trying to talk to me, I want to talk to you. Now, see, we talking to people in Germany right now, Russia, Australia, the UK, Ukraine, and all of them. By the way, I'm still standing with Ukraine. And y'all, if you don't help them, you're gonna live to regret it. And I'm saying to the European members of NATO, help Ukraine until the U.S. stop this craziness over here. You know, don't let them people be over there being aggressed upon, because that's what's in store for you next. Can't you see that? So, anyway, those who think that I'm I'm in South Korea, North Korea, if they got, wherever the internet is, people can see me if they want to. And that's all that's required, is that I be there if you want me. I ain't here to force you to look at me. You can turn it off right now. You ain't got to hear me. I'm not responsible for you not hearing me. Only if I didn't get out here and talk to you or try to reach you. And I did try. The messenger told you what was going to happen. He said that this one that was coming after him, he said that I would not be talking to you from what you call just from my mouth. But he told you I would be speaking to you through a mechanical instrument. And he said,
we want to thank you, whom the Secretary have called off, for visiting us here this afternoon. We hope that you will enjoy yourself, and that we're going to do all we possibly can to get over to you all that we can, so that when you leave here, you will have some knowledge of us and our presence in the world. In fact about it, this is what we are here for, to get over to you and acquaint with you of that which God has sent to you through me. We want to get acquainted so fast until we are nervous. Our acquaintance means much. For a long time, 40 years, I have been among you, sounding this kind of a trumpet. So there was an end to Noah sounding Abraham and Lot sounding their trumpet. In Sodom and Gomorrah, people at that time. And it also came an end to Moses and Aaron sounding their trumpet to Pharaoh and his people. These kind of trumpets is the mouth of men and the words proceeding from their mouth. These are the first trumpets that sound, called an easy sound, because they're coming from man's mouth.
The reason that they are called an easy sound is because you're not, and the world can't be judged by the trumpet being sounded from a messenger that's in a part of the earth, while the other part don't know what he's saying. Do you understand? You can't be held responsible for what a messenger said that you didn't hear. Do you understand? And so the messenger called that an easy sound, because it's coming from man's mouth. And one man's mouth can't be heard all over the earth without distortion. Do you understand? Okay. But
these kind of trumpets is the mouth of men and the words proceeding from their mouth. These are the first trumpets that sound, called an easy sound, because they're coming from man's mouth. The other trumpet is not heard directly from the mouth. It passes through some mechanical instrument. That's the kind of trumpet I'm warning you to be aware of. They're lifting it up now.
There you go. So now you can get a link to hear the trumpet sound. You sitting in this is an empty room I'm sitting in here. Got empty chairs in it, except for two technicians. And but on this phone line, how many people on the phone line right now? About 70 or 80?
It says 63.
63. Okay. So, and then we got the internet here. So through these mechanical instruments, I'm reaching people. And some people are up looking at me at 3 o'clock in the morning in different places. And you know, it's a different time on the earth in different places here. But they all once they hear me, they know it's something different going on here. Ain't nobody produced an argument that could hold water against anything I'm saying or teaching. No other man can claim that I know of on this earth, because if you say you know a man that's doing that, how come you ain't introduced me to him so me and him can talk? No, you don't know nobody else. It's me. I'm the Mahdi. And if you know what's good for you, you will bow down with the angels who bow down. Okay. Any questions before I let you go? Brother Ann, I'm going to close on time tonight. So may Allah bless us, keep us safe and in our right minds. And you in every state, watch your legislatures and watch your polling places in election time, and make sure that everything is double checked to make sure that the votes that are cast are properly counted. Do you understand? Because for people to be so bold as these people are being right now, it appears that they think they got the fix in. Do you understand? But you know, Allah can, as he said, he let false hope beguile them. Yeah. You know, I guess the King George thought he had a show thing. That didn't work out too well for him, did it? Yeah, well, so it was George against George. And the George that was for freedom overcame the George that was a tyrant. And then George that was for freedom warned his people. In so many words, he said, you just got out from under a tyrant king. Now you trying to reinstitute and make me a king? Even though I may be a good one, I fear those that come after me. Was he right? Look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants to be a king so bad. And lazy, trifling people who don't want to have to work and don't want to do nothing but be a henchman, those are the kind of people that support him. So, and I say it again, to hell with everybody who supports Donald Trump. Amen, amen, and amen. Now, and to those who are for right and for justice, may Allah bless you all, bless us all, and keep us safe and in our right minds, and grant to each and every one of us a peaceful and pleasant night's rest and sleep, and a happy, peaceful, and pleasant morning's rise, and a peaceful life, a peace-filled life. May Allah's salam alaikum